Did Spotify just end YouTube's dominance in video podcasting? Yesterday, Spotify announced that Spotify for Podcasters is becoming Spotify for Creators. Let's take a look at this announcement and see what that means for us as content creators. When we jump into this blog post, we see right in the front here that Spotify is focusing on monetization, discovery, and standing out with video. So let's scroll down and see what we've got, what we should be paying attention to. All right, so Spotify, as many people know, kind of like came more into the podcast scene in 2019 and has really taken a lead when it comes to like they beat out Apple recently. And I know in more recent studies too, they've been showing that like 8 out of 10 podcasters on their platform are including video. So there's a massive uptick in video consumption on their platform. Yeah, you can see here, like, look at this fan study. We've seen 88% surge in users consuming video podcasts in the last year alone. So are we surprised that they're going all in on video? Are they coming after YouTube? Like, what are they doing here? So let's take a look. Let's play this video.
The game has changed. As a creator, you're constantly adapting, reshaping your content to fit any platform. But you shouldn't feel like you have to chase trends in order to find fans. Because on Spotify, fans are finding their favorite creators and sticking around for more. Day after day, they're listening, watching, and sharing the love. And now, we're giving creators like you more ways to tap into this audience with the flexibility to make your show on your terms. From audio to video, Spotify helps you build a loyal following, get paid for your content, and stand out where over 500 million people tune in. So you can create your way in the place where fans who understand you grow with you. Show up for your true fans with Spotify for Creators.
You know what I find really interesting about this video is that when they, back in 2020 or whatever, when Joe Rogan came on the platform, is when they added video podcasting. That was a big part of his deal, was the fact that he still wanted to put videos on the platform. He's not highlighted in this at all. The biggest video podcaster in the world isn't highlighted in this at all. There's a ton of other creators that are pretty well-known names that most people would recognize, and who I'm sure most people watch on YouTube or TikTok. So I don't know. That's just interesting to me, something to pick out there. But okay, so now we're getting into monetization, the thing that everybody is trying to figure out with content creation right now. Monetization. So, okay, looks like starting today, new monetization program. Awesome. Available to creators in the US, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom. It's the Spotify Partner Program. So this new program gives creators who host with us and meet our monetization criteria access to multiple revenue streams to help them transform, blah, 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 blah. You can read it yourself. But what does this mean? Okay, so if you're a creator who publishes video on Spotify, you can also earn with premium video revenue through Spotify Partner Program. So for Spotify Premium subscribers, they now will get served content without ads. So that's important. I know that's something a lot of people have been asking for, right? No ads on podcasts. It's like, why am I paying for this premium service? And then my podcast still has like dynamic advertising on it. That is very frustrating. So sounds like that's going away, but for podcasters, you're still going to be able to get paid, even from those premium streams, I guess you could say. But and we'll dive into my Spotify for Creators page, and we can look at some of these things too to see what they look like on the platform. Yeah. So reach a new audience with Spotify video clips and thumbnails. I noticed this when I uploaded an episode the other day, that because I put video episodes of my podcast on the platform, and yeah, it was the first time it was like, do you want to put a thumbnail? I was like, I guess. But they also are rolling out get discovered by uploading short form video clips. So are we getting a TikTok-esque thing here? Kind of seems like it. So promote your show across social media platforms like TikTok, Shorts, Reels, and all of the above. We know that these clips are great at driving engagement, but don't necessarily translate to more streams for your show. That's why we're thrilled to share we can now upload clips directly to Spotify where your audience already is. To start, they can be up to 90 seconds, and you can upload one clip per episode. Cool. So you can basically like make an episode trailer now and load it yourself, which is pretty sick because previous to this, Spotify would pull clips out of your content to like use for promotion across its platform, or like if someone wanted to just kind of get like a hint at what your show is about, but you didn't get to select what that is. So now we're getting to actually like choose, this is the best part that I want featured. So even if you don't have a video show, it's a good question. If you don't have a video show, can you still upload like an audiogram or something like that, just to kind of take advantage, I guess, of the video component here? So, and for those of you who are worried that it's just going to become another TikTok clone, like every social media platform seems to be. So our goal is not to make our platform yet another place to watch short, engaging content. We want to help people find their next favorite show where they are ready to immediately listen and watch, and ultimately drive more streams to your full-length episodes. So that's, I think, an interesting differential, because it's with, hopefully people will engage with it with the kind of mindset of like, I'm going to dive into this fully. And YouTube Shorts kind of does this, right? Where it's like you can link your YouTube short to a long form piece of content. How much click-through rate people are getting on that? Good question. I don't see it in my videos personally. And most of the shows I work on, we haven't really seen much of that, but you never know. So this might be an interesting way to kind of like put a trailer out there, and if people are really into it, right, they'll click into the full episode. So this is also in beta. Looks like it's available to everybody. Awesome. Thumbnails, customize your thumbnail. That's cool. Okay, 16:9, so regular. So if you make a thumbnail for your YouTube video, you can also put it on your Spotify. That's super cool, and it'll optimize it across the board. It looks like they also have kind of like the generic, kind of like what YouTube does. If you don't have a thumbnail, like they just pull a stagnant piece, right, from your podcast. So that's good to know as well. Okay, so new analytics to help you learn and grow. This I have been noticing in my show, just like the analytics looked different lately. So let's see what's different here. See how many Spotify followers you have and how that growth rate is changing over time. According to their 2022 fan study, followers consume 4x more of your episodes than non-followers. So make sure to remind your audience through your show notes or in your episodes to follow on Spotify. Track your performance of the latest episode, including streams, consumption hours, content. So it seems like they're kind of trying to like push a little bit more of like the analytics like YouTube has, right? Like that's one of the great things about YouTube is like the analytics pages just insanely built out, right? You can see retention, all these things. And Spotify kind of had that, but it seems like now they're actually starting to show you maybe a little bit more of like, here's, and you can see it here. It's like people who were reached 2.4 million people who were interested. So maybe they clicked into your page, right? Or onto your channel essentially is like 220K. And then people who actually like streamed your content was only 141, right? So you can kind of see that pipeline. What we can do with this information, right, is, up to us. So yeah, visualizing your audience's journey to how are they discovering and getting into your content. Spotify also recently rolled out comments, right, on YouTube videos or on, podcast episodes. So, that's probably continuing to get built out a little bit more, and we're going to see more tools like you have on YouTube for engaging with that kind of content. Elevating the video discovery and viewing experience on Spotify. So let's see, a couple improvements to the video experience, personalized video recommendations throughout the app. Okay, so this is probably a little bit more on the user side, I'm guessing. Playback improvements like thumbnail scrubbing, pinch to zoom, video chapters, and a toggle to make it easy to switch between the video and audio experience. I did notice the chaptering recently because I do use Spotify to stream a lot of my podcasts. So I did notice that on a couple of shows. Thumbnail scrubbing, okay, that's interesting. Comments that make it easy for your audience to share feedback and for you to build your fan community on Spotify. It really feels like they're trying to build YouTube, right? And they're just kind of putting a big emphasis on like hey, we're just focused on podcasts right now, but is there anything really stopping you from taking a vlog and posting it on Spotify? Probably not. I mean, yeah, people would only be able to listen audio wise to some degree, right? If they wanted to. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. And then a following filter on the podcast feed so your fans can quickly find your content and keep coming back. What does that mean? Good question. And that's it. Okay, cool. The future is bright and multi-format. Regardless of where your podcast is hosted or if your show isn't even on Spotify, it's easy to set up. Boom. If you're already making video, we encourage you to start uploading your video episodes to Spotify and check your eligibility for the Spotify Partner Program. If video isn't for you, that's okay too. You know what I find so interesting about this is that they're not saying video podcast. They're just saying video, right? It's like, and that's where I'm starting to get more of this feel of like they're coming for YouTube, right? Because they're laying out a lot more of this, the rebrand, right? From podcaster to creators, you know, all of these video, like things that they've been, these analytics, right? That if you post video content, right? Like anybody, we want to know retention rates. We want to know, you know, drop off points. We want to be able to put thumbnails, post shorter form content, like all of this kind of stuff. So they're finally handing that to us, which is really, it's good. It's good to see. And, you know, YouTube has been dominant in this arena for a really long time. So let's jump into my Spotify for creators, I guess is now what it's called, account. We can take a look at my numbers. My show is relatively new. If you want to go give it a follow, please do. It's called the Ex-Homeschoolers Club. I talk to all my ex-homeschool friends, and we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm growing up a homeschool kid, so would love for you guys to do that. And this, yeah, looks totally different than even 2 days ago when I logged in to schedule an episode. So first and foremost, we get this nice, well, let's even just talk about up here. First and foremost is like, we have like our total overall plays of our episode. Sick. We have our total Spotify followers. Again, kind of giving that YouTube-ish studio, or creator studio or whatever it's called, vibe to it, right? So we can see like our overview. So last 30 days, 150 streams. This is specifically on Spotify. This is not across all platforms, just Spotify. Consumption, the followers that have been gained, sadly 0. Go follow. What if we hit more analytics? What is it going to show us? So we can see our streams, consumption, followers, stayed about the same. Lost one, sadly. And if we go over like a 90-day period, let's see what that shows. So we can see, okay, some growth. Again, what you do with this information is up to you, right? Some people ignore it. Some people use it. And then, okay, so then underneath that, we get all of our platform analytic, right? So this is total streams across all platforms, including Spotify. So kind of interesting there. And then we can go back. We'll also under analytics, we obviously have like Discovery. We can dive more into that, but let's go back to this home screen again and look at some of this other stuff. So latest episode, what's there, comments, can go to that specific episode. If we go here, okay, so we can kind of scroll through and scrub through all of our 3 episodes that are like the latest episodes. It's kind of cool. We also have, let's see, Spotify Discovery Stats. Again, this is something we kind of like saw on that page, right? Of like how many people were reached, how many people showed an interest, and then how many people actually like streamed this content. So if we go into more on this, again, it's going in that second tab on analytics. Again, layout of the same thing. Where's this traffic coming from? Or here's the total impressions. Where are people finding it? Spotify homepage, Spotify search, Spotify library. Okay. I wish there was a little bit more information about what some of these things meant. Like what is Spotify library? Other Spotify features. It would also be cool to see it like from other platforms, but probably can't do that because as we all know, podcasting stats are kind of a mess. And then we've got comments here. As you can tell, nobody comments on my on my show. They comment on YouTube. not so much on Spotify. I think it's a newer, because it's such a newer thing. I think, people are still figuring that out. And yeah, and then we have like kind of our basic stuff here. We can also look, so we looked at analytics, right? This is that same page, right? If we tapped in any of those other things, it would take us into here. Our episodes page looks about the same. We can look at, actually let's look at, because I did this with this episode and we can take a look at it. So this episode is a video episode. Came out Wednesday with my friend Kira. You can see it here. Boom. And we've got our thumbnail, the ability to put a thumbnail down here, right? We can change it up. So currently it's just a default one, but I could X this out and I could upload my own image. That's really cool. I don't think anything else is really new in here. It seems like all basically the same thing. And then up here we have now like the clips beta, and I did upload a clip in here as well. So if you go then to like this episode I went on my phone, but there's actually now like a video button that shows like this preview video, which is really cool. But yeah, I need to go through and probably update all these old episodes because I have clips for all of my old episodes. So might as well take, and I know which ones performed best, right? On YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever they're posted. So why not take the most popular one, put it on Spotify? Because most likely it'll convert there as well. You can look at comments. Again, I don't think there's anything going to be like drastically new here. And again, I don't have comments on my show. Go comment on my show. Links in the description. And then polls, same deal. I haven't ran any polls on my show. I don't think so. But yeah, okay. Monetize is the other one that a lot of people, and this is again looking a lot like YouTube, right? Where YouTube has like your monetization thresholds, right? It's like 500 subscribers is your first level, and then a certain amount of hours. Spotify is looking very similar, right? You kind of have your bar, your progress bar. So I need 2,000 people to listen to my podcast. I need to hit 10,000 consumption hours, and then I need at least 12 episodes, right? That's pretty, if you go on YouTube and look at their monetization, it's very similar. Subscription does get unlocked a lot quicker, I will say that. But yeah, this will be interesting to see how this builds out more. Could there be levels to it like there is on YouTube, right? Because YouTube, I know, is like they just changed it. So it's like 500 subs and whatever unlocks like subscriptions and super chats and things like that. And then once you hit 1,000 subscribers, that's when you like get into that like, ad revenue type stuff. So yeah, that's kind of the basics, I guess, of this big announcement from Spotify. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's kind of just off the dome. Taking a look at this is a lot. It's fresh to me too. So, if you have questions, drop them down below. If you want to see more, if you want to read this for yourself, I'm going to drop it down below as well. And yeah, and if you want to subscribe to my podcast, I would love you forever. So, that'll be linked down below as well. Until next time, it's Jacob Gooden signing off. All right. Peace.